Welcome to another Business Spotlight. My name is Kerry James. I'm a business coach and a facilitator, and on all of the Business Spotlights, we explore lessons, reflections, and pearls of wisdom from local business owners. And on today's Business Spotlight, I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Leigh Rostron, co-founder and MD of HREF Limited. So good afternoon to you, Leigh, and a big welcome to Business Spotlight.
Good afternoon, Kerry, and thank you very much for having me on today. Looking forward to it.
You're very welcome. So HREF, not too much of a clue about what that's about. So if you can give us a little bit of an overview, how long have you been running the business, please, Leigh, and what do you specialize in?
Absolutely. So HREF was founded in 2019. Myself, I actually joined in 2020, just at the very start of COVID. But yeah, what we do, we are an agency development partner. So we are solely web developers. We build software, we can build, API app integrations and all sorts of things. Anything website related, we're the people you speak to. We're the guys behind the scenes that build everything and make sure everything's functional and working, and obviously fixing any bugs that come out of that. Typically, our client base is made up of other agencies, other digital agencies across the UK and some international, whereas, they may not have developers in-house, or they may not have the expertise required for a certain project. They will then come to us and ask us to do it on their behalf. So we'll work very closely with them in a very collaborative way, just to ensure that of course their needs are met, and of course their clients' needs are met with the final product when we're delivering it to them.
Got you. So what is that is the scope of your services then, Leigh? Is it very much the technical background side of websites, or does it extend into SEO and applications, and what would you say is the kind of core focus that you've got?
Yeah, our core focus is solely coding and development. So typically a client would come to us with, say, a design and everything like that. We would then build it. And then, of course, they can then either take it in-house and do all the SEO, the marketing, the content, or, of course, they can go to another agency. Of course, we have many, many partners that we work with as well, and we're always happy to collaborate with them. If there was an entire project which did require design and SEO and marketing and content social, we are absolutely happy to facilitate collaborative work with some of our other partners that we already work with.
And so is all of your work through partners, or do you do some direct to client, as it were?
We've done a couple direct to client, and this is really through some of the clients we have, which have basically said, we don't want to be involved in it. It's not our speciality at all. There was one for quite a well-known fertility clinic that we did last year, which was quite a new one for us because it was in a completely different tech stack than what we were typically used to. So there was a lot of planning and everything that went into that one, but we worked directly with the end client on that one. And there's been a couple more over the years.
Okay, and so in terms of your partners, in terms of their areas of specialism, or their sectors, or their size, or their culture, what is a kind of an ideal partner for you then, Leigh?
An ideal partner for us, really. There isn't anyone too small or anyone too big. Ideally for us, we just want to be working with our partners that are delivering things to us in a timely manner, of course, providing us complete clarity when it comes to timelines, deadlines, budgets, and everything like that, just so we're fully aware of what we're walking into. But yeah, typically we work with a lot of agencies. I'd say our client base is predominantly made up of agencies of a similar size to us, anywhere from sort of 10 to 20 employees. We do work with some very large agencies, and we also work with some very small ones as well, but the majority is what pertain to 10 to 20.
Got you. Okay, Leigh, so why don't we just broaden it out a little bit? Clearly, well, arguably, we are in the middle of a digital revolution, and lockdown. I think I heard the quote that, the digital revolution moved forward 5 years and 5 months, I think it was the quote I heard. But maybe including that, but as well as that, we've had inflation and interest rates and people working from home, and of course, lockdown itself. So how have all those trends and dynamics impacted, would you say, Leigh, on your industry and your business in particular?
Yeah, so in our industry, we were very lucky because we work in the digital industry anyway. We're already set up for sort of remote working and everything like that. So it was, I wouldn't say an easy transition, but probably we found it easier than a lot of other businesses and industry sectors out there did. But there were a lot of lessons that we took from it as well, of course, because before the pandemic, we were fully based in the office full time, and then transition into remote work. And of course, we did offer remote working, maybe once, twice a week, maybe. And then when we went full remote, we sort of had to completely review the systems we were using, the softwares we were using, the way we was communicating, and even our entire project planning and development process. We had to sort of bring it in, because when you're in an office environment with your entire team, it's very easy just to sit next to them and go through something and move forward. Whereas, when everyone's remote, you need to be sure that everything is tracked. You have a paper trail, there's email threads. We actually transitioned to a system called ClickUp a couple of years ago now, which sort of amalgamated all of our systems into one. So now we're using ClickUp for our project planning, our QA, our sales, finance, account management, and everything else all in the one system. So it's really easy for any member of the team to find any information they need just in the one place, rather than having to go from one system to then go into log into another to then pull data over. We just put everything into one place, and it just made everything so much easier and just easier to manage from sort of management point of view, my point of view, or business partner Dominic's point of view. Really easy for us to see exactly what is going on day to day without having to be involved in every tiny part of business.
What about the demand side of things, though, Leigh? With the huge growth in e-commerce, etc. Did it create quite a boost in demand for your type of services, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Because of the way that we work as that additional resource to a lot of agencies, what we were finding when they were having to put staff on furlough and things like that, we just found that a lot more people were coming to us because they needed additional development resource but couldn't employ more developers at that time. So we found quite a big boost in that. And yes, when you mentioned e-commerce, there was a hell of a lot of e-commerce sites that actually came through our doors very early in the pandemic, some of which we built and launched very successful ones. We did a lot of sub brands for a very, very well-known high street brand as well. Took everything sort of from in-store to online. So we did multiple Shopify builds for them, which went really, really well. And then it just became more and more requested for e-commerce at that time as well, which was quite exciting. E-commerce is our projects we love working on. So yeah, to see more and more of them come through our doors was brilliant.
Okay. So before we press the record button today, Leigh, we talked a little bit about the size and shape of your team and your growth, etc. Now, and growth, of course, brings with it its own challenges. So what would you say are the key challenges today for Href in terms of where you are now and where you're trying to get to?
Yeah, so key challenges for Href really is obviously we absolutely want to grow, but at the same time we want to grow at the right pace. We don't want to grow too fast. We don't want to bring too many people in. We made some mistakes very early on at Href where we had the demand, we had the work, we grew the team very, very quickly. But doing this, we may have been hasty in the way that we were recruiting, maybe slimming down on the interview process and things like that. And that brought us home a set of challenges. When we actually got people on the tools and building things, we needed to get them building in the way that we wanted to. And yeah, it didn't work out as well as we would like. So we had to bring back the team a little bit, and then just grow quite periodically from that point onwards. And we've learned our lessons, of course. We've completely reinvented our recruitment process, which is now doing really, really well. Staff turnover is minimum, if nothing, at the moment. So yeah, there were some big challenges in growing, but just doing it maybe a little bit too fast, just because we were excited about the amount of clients we were seeing come through the doors and things like that. But yeah, moving forward, we just want to make sure we're doing things in the right way.
And in terms of resourcing your business, is it finding the right people with the the coding, the technical expertise and experience, or is it more on the kind of account management, the sales and marketing side of things, would you say?
Yeah, with us, really, it's all really down to the tech side of things, because we have a good team of account managers, of which I'm involved in quite heavily, as is Dominic, my business partner. But yeah, we're always on the lookout for good developers, and it's not necessarily, I don't want someone who's got 10-20 years experience. We've taken people in and developed them from junior level. In fact, our lead developer at the moment came in as a junior, and he is now leading our entire development operation. So yeah, that's what we want to do. But yeah, maybe on the project management side, as the development team grows, of course, we will have to mirror that with the project management side to make sure that all projects and clients is still being managed with the same level of service.
Got you. Got you. Okay. So what about aspirations then, Leigh? What size and shape now, and where you'd like to see yourself in kind of 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, in 3 to 5 years, I would absolutely love to see maybe just under double in size. I would like to get us to 20, and I think that would be perfect for us at the moment. And yeah, maybe grow the client base a bit more, maybe not too much, because we do have a very healthy client base at the moment, so I wouldn't want to overburden the rest of the team. But yeah, potentially a bit of a bigger premises as well, because we're already running out of space at the current office.
Okay, and so what about, let's move on to the lessons. You've clearly been on an interesting journey.
Yeah.
If you were to start again and knowing what you know now, Leigh, what would you say, what advice would you give to yourself? What are the main lessons you've learned based on
So
leadership?
where to start? There's been so many lessons over the years. I think the biggest one for me is try not to get involved in everything, because I was very, very guilty of that, just trying to keep hold of everything, maybe not delegating as much as I should have done, because I brought team members in that I trust to do the work, and I'm still trying to do it for them. But what I was seeing with that, because I was getting a little bit involved in everything, the places that actually really needed my focus weren't getting the level of attention that was needed. So to sort of take a step back now and leave the rest of the team to do what they do, obviously update me periodically, let me know, if there are any issues that I need to step in on. But apart from that, I just let them get on with it now, and it allows me the time to be able to do everything else I need, which is typically all around sort of process planning and system planning and things like that, and of course recruitment, which is a big one, and also as well just knowing when to switch off. For the first couple of years, it was all systems go. There was some really, really long days, maybe 18, 19-hour days at a couple of points, with some project deliveries, but I sort of needed to learn, and the wife sort of beating me over the head with it. You need to sort of step back and relax and just find time to switch off from the business and just find a bit of time for yourself, which helped massively, because I was just beating myself into the floor, and yeah, it wasn't great. Not through the fact that the business weren't doing great, because it was doing maybe too good, and I was just all systems go because I wanted to grow too fast. I just need to find that time to be able to, watch the football, or, play with the kids, or, do something else other than work.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether you're familiar with the E-Myth book, one of the best-selling books about small business growth, and they explore exactly that journey. Lots of business owners start as technical experts, whether they're lawyers or hairdressers or technical coders, whatever the origins might be, but grappling with that journey from being a technical expert to actually being a leader and a manager,
yeah,
is something that we all have to learn and to go through, and it's certainly a question of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. What do you think do you think you've got more challenges in terms of developing your leadership skills, or in terms of your management skills?
I'd probably say, for me personally, I would probably say my management skills. I think leadership skills, yeah, I'm quite happy with them. But when it actually comes to sort of day-to-day management of, employees, task schedules, stuff like that, and making sure they are staying on task and doing the right things, yeah, that is probably something I need to work on myself. Absolutely.
Right. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Well, Leigh, thanks very much for sharing your journey. I'm going to ask one final question, if I may.
Yeah.
Any viewers looking at this and interested in potentially working for you, maybe they're marketing agencies of the sort of size and shape you mentioned, what might be the sensible next step? Or have you got any particular offers or ways that you like to start working with businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. By all means, go to our website, hfagency.co.uk, and get in touch via the form on there. Or, if you want to contact me directly, you absolutely can. My details are on the website. And yeah, probably the best way, if just get in touch and arrange a call, just a very quick call like this, and just discuss your challenges from a development standpoint, and we'll be there to sort of guide you through that. Or if you have a website that you're not quite happy with the performance of, send me the URL, and I'm more than happy to take a look and provide any feedback. And of course, that will be completely free of charge.
That's great to hear. But just to explore that a little bit, Leigh, how, for people who own websites that don't have technical background understanding of how they operate,
yeah,
what are the signs or what are the checks that people should do to make some sort of judgment as to whether their website is operating as fast as it should be, for example, and as well as it should be?
Absolutely. So you can, if you just Google page speed insights, you can actually add your URL onto there, and it will give you a very quick overview report of your website and performance from a speed perspective, SEO perspective, accessibility, and other points as well. That's always a good place to start, and it will give you a really good indication if you need to do some work. And Google Page Speed Insights will also give you guidance on where you should be focusing any efforts on improving your website. So that's always the best place to start. And yeah, if it comes up and it's all red, then maybe you need to come and have a chat with me or a different agency out there. But if they're all green, you're all good. But it's always good to do that quite often. I would probably recommend doing that at minimum once a quarter. But yeah, I run them probably every couple of weeks with some websites, because the amount of updates and changes I made on some websites.
What a great top tip. So page speed insights, was that the keyword that you used, the phrase?
Yeah, that if you just Google that, it will be top of the list. It's actually ran by Google itself, so that'll be very top. And all you need to do is open that, and there'll just be a URL. But I'll just pop your website in there, and that's it.
Very good. Excellent. All right, Leigh. Well, thanks ever so much again for your time, for sharing your journey. We will add your URL to the post with this video, and all the very best to you and the team at Href.
Thank you very much, Kerry. Pleasure being here.
All the best. Bye for now.